With Dwayne Johnson, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds' action thriller Red Notice about to drop on Netflix, we thought that we would take a look behind the scenes of the biggest movie Netflix has ever made and give you some exclusive secrets and facts that you may not have known. From issues to filming due to The Rock's size, a production plagued by the pandemic, to a horrifying injury picked up by Gal Gadot, these are some behind-the-scenes secrets from Red Notice, and don't worry, this video will be kept spoiler-free. Let's go.
I made an oath of silence. I spit on my word.
So the movie, Red Notice, which follows an Interpol agent as he hunts down two of the world's most wanted art thieves, is action-packed and promises to be Netflix's biggest movie to date. With a budget of $200 million, surpassing that of The Irishman and Six Underground, the film's star, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, said that the movie is the biggest investment Netflix has ever made in a film, and it promises to compete with some of the biggest blockbuster franchises around.
And I don't want you to worry about things, okay? Because it's all gonna go fine.
Along with Johnson, the movie's main trio of stars include Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds. Before Reynolds and Gadot were brought on board, other actors who were considered included Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, and Nicolas Cage, with Johnson reportedly vouching for Cage personally. However, they eventually landed on Reynolds and Gadot as the co-stars, with the pair reportedly set to cash in $20 million each for their roles in the movie, while Johnson set to get $20 million and then some, as he also serves as the movie's producer. The movie sees Johnson linking up with frequent collaborator, director Rawson Marshall Thurber, with them working on Central Intelligence and Skyscraper together. So the movie began filming in Atlanta in January 2020, but right around the halfway mark, the movie came to a grinding halt due to that pandemic, just as the cast and crew were set to jet off to Italy to film on location. With the pandemic raging, the movie remained on hold for a number of months, with 1,000 crew members reportedly on standby. Of course, though, shooting for Red Notice did eventually continue back in September, but it was not exactly plain sailing, with Johnson saying that they put, quote, aggressive health and safety measures, end quote, in place to keep everyone safe. These measures included taking COVID tests, wearing masks and face shields, and of course, being completely isolated from their family members for months on end. Gal Gadot said that shooting the movie came with multiple sacrifices, saying that the cast and crew had to be isolated 24/7, and they were only together while on set, saying that the experience was new and difficult. She also lauded the crew's efforts as they worked hard on the sets while wearing crazy plastics in order to follow protocols. And she even added that you would never guess that this movie was shot during a pandemic. Despite all of these setbacks and hardships, the movie sounded like an absolute riot to work on. Gadot said on the Jonathan Ross show, quote, "We broke so many takes. Ryan waits around the corner waiting to break us," end quote. On Jimmy Fallon, Johnson said, quote, "I like to think I'm professional and disciplined, and oh my god, I never laughed so hard. But it got to the point where Reynolds would say something and I would say something, and then he would say it in a way that he knew I liked, which is actually needling me when the camera's on me and it all just comes out," end quote. Reynolds continued on, saying that they wasted millions of Netflix's money because they accidentally broke props and other expensive things as they were laughing and goofing around so much. But if the movie manages to bring in a load of money and kick off a franchise for the streaming service, I don't think they're gonna mind too much. But the main trio weren't just laughing at each other's jokes, and they actually got on like a house on fire, with the co-stars seemingly sharing a bond. When speaking about Johnson, Gadot said that he makes her co-stars all look really bad because not only is he in great shape, but he remembers the names of every crew member and is personable to all of them. She said that he was like a big robot, and now I kinda wanna see a version of the Iron Giant with The Rock. Anyway, continuing on with her praise of Johnson, Gadot said, quote, "He's a gigantic rock with the softest, sweetest heart. It's like butter from within," end quote. Ryan Reynolds said about both Gadot and Johnson, quote, "She can go toe-to-toe with pretty much anybody, even a skin-covered mountain like Dwayne Johnson," end quote. But being a skin-colored mountain does come with its setbacks, as Johnson found out the hard way. In the movie, there's a car chase sequence shot in a one-take format where Johnson chases down Gadot and Reynolds while driving a Porsche. So the crew filmed around 80 to 90% of the sequence without any issues, but when it came to a simple shot of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson getting into the car, yeah, they encountered a problem. He could not fit inside it. Because Porsches are made for normal-sized people and not skin-covered mountains, Johnson was unable to get in. And it was like trying to shove a marshmallow into a coin slot. That's his words, not mine. After Johnson told Thurber that he couldn't get in, and after a 15-second awkward silence, the cast and crew burst out laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation. But seeing as a majority of the sequence had already been filmed and the production had spent a literal boatload on purchasing 2 of these cars and having them shipped to the US, they had to get this shot. So they reportedly thought of a creative way of fitting him into the car, and just like when Joey's head got stuck in the door in Friends, they oiled Johnson up and slid him in that way. Another issue with Johnson's massive size came during the dance scene between himself and Godot, with Godot worried that he would step on her toes by accident and leave them crushed. Godot, who revealed this story to Jimmy Kimmel, said that Johnson kept reassuring her that the scene would be fine, but she was still nervous. And to be honest, it's hard to blame her because, again, he's a skin-covered mountain. But it turns out that despite being called The Rock, the man is surprisingly light on his feet and was actually a very skilled dancer. And the scene went extremely smoothly. Also, another fun fact about Godot that doesn't really pertain to Red Notice, but it's still pretty funny. While appearing on Jake's Takes, Godot revealed that she stole a Batarang from the set of Justice League and uses it to open up Amazon packages, which is just brilliant. Like, seriously, who does not want to open up a package with a Batarang? However, between the laughs and the jokes, there was a very serious moment on set when Godot picked up an injury, with her shedding blood. Wow, you would think that it was serious the way that she tells it. During an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Godot revealed that during a scene where she's kicking a pair of handcuffs, she ended up cutting her toe, which caused her to bleed. She then jokingly added, quote, "I almost died," end quote, and that situation threatened to spiral out of control. Now time to stuff in some random facts from the movie that I could not organically insert earlier on in the video. During the movie, Johnson's character, John Hartley, drinks some Terramana tequila owned by Johnson, while Reynolds' character, Nolan Booth, drinks aviation gin, which Reynolds is a part owner of. This then suggests that both Reynolds and Johnson exist in the world of Red Notice and look strikingly similar to an Interpol agent and a major art thief. Another piece of trivia, the movie will host a major cameo from a famous musician, with Ed Sheeran, apparently unperturbed by the negative response to his Game of Thrones cameo, appearing as himself in Red Notice. Let's end on a random piece of trivia, shall we? As well as appearing in a DC and a Fast and Furious movie, the main trio have another thing in common. They all have 3 daughters, with Godot joking that was the reason they hired her. You gotta love a good coincidence.
Bye. Don't miss me too much.